What's up everyone, welcome to another video. I just got back to Europe and I thought there would be no better way to unrust my setup than to play some random 2v2. For today's video I really want to play some Sky Terran, one of my favorite compositions in the game. It's very fun, it's very crazy and can even be very strong depending on the situation. Now it's going to be elementary that I convince my teammate to join in because playing 1v2 Sky Terran can be a little rough. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's begin. Okay, first game of the day is with a Terran teammate against a Terran and a random. We are playing on Crimson Research Lab, which is a very nice big map for this challenge. Now let's see. I don't really know exactly how I want to play this. Usually when I play a game of StarCraft, I kind of just have like a vague strategy or idea in mind, and then I don't really think it through for the most part until I actually get there. Now first let me greet my teammate nicely, of course, as I always do. Oh, that's a good start, guys. Very enthusiastic. You know, I wonder if any of you by any chance kept track of this, because I know some of you get curious about those things. But I feel like historically, when my teammates started the chatter enthusiastically, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be nice teammates. Very often they started nice and then they were the rage quitting ones. I'm gonna play a nice macro game. Let me just keep him up to date on my strategy. Name is Deckard, which means he is a support from Heroes of the Storm, which means he's gonna be a perfect teammate. That's my logic so far. They also had the Fire Bat portrait, I believe, which is a beautiful one. Now let's see. Nice, okay, so far so good.
Not enough.
Maybe some Sky Terran, you know, the good stuff. It's pretty early, by the way. It's like 11 AM here, which is, well, I mean, it's not early to wake up, but it is pretty early to be playing StarCraft, so maybe this guy's having a great day, you know? It's Easter weekend, I believe. I don't actually celebrate it myself, but happy Easter to everyone out there. Hope you're getting some delicious Easter delicacies. This guy's probably in a good mood because of that. It's all good. Now, what am I gonna do exactly? I kind of want to start with a non-battlecruiser type of Sky Terran, which means I'm very likely to play either Speed Banshees or Viking Liberator, and then we see if the necessity for battlecruiser opens up later on. I think that sounds like a pretty nice way to go about it. I wonder if you can even... This looks like a wall off, right? Yeah, that looks kind of nice. Oh, I still need to know what race the other guy is. Let's see. The Terran player is Conmeech, and the random is the barcode. That way I can remember which one is which if I see the Terran player. Probably not a Zerg, because I would have seen an Overlord by now. That is... Okay, that is actually double Terran. Interesting. Double Reaper, I think I saw as well. Double Terran, let's see. That is a double factory. I think I'm going to click my Reaper on my teammate's Reaper. Because it's gonna be... Oh, I balled in my own SCV. That's kind of hilarious. I don't want to get double teamed there. This is pretty scary, because if we lose these Reapers, we could be in trouble. Oh, my rally was wrong, that's why. I was wondering why that was so freaking weird. Yeah, let's see, over here. Grenade. Yes, my teammate's always synced up, look at this. Can I target it? Oh, barely didn't get that. If he jumps up, he can go for it. Oh, he doesn't want to. It would be perfect for him to jump up. Oh, no. If only he was a little bit more brave. That's okay, though. We were actually just going to kill their Reapers and get ahead from that, so that's unfortunate that he didn't see it. My opponents also might have made a little bit of a mistake by actually sticking around there. Maybe they didn't expect us to jump up, but it was just being worked out for them. That always hurts a little more when you know that your opponent should have done something else, but, you know, they made whether it's a wrong decision or they just weren't paying attention or whatever, doesn't matter, but it works out for them. It's always like, you know, we should have had something good going on here, but we didn't. Now, oh, there's a couple... Oh, it's just one Reaper. All right, we're going to be able to kill that pretty easily. That is nice. At least if I micro correctly, can I save that? No. That is what it is. I'm playing Reaper Expand after all, so I'm pretty rich. My guy over here has a lot of units. We could do a pretty sick attack. Yeah, I'm just going to follow him. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I recently thought of a... Well, I don't want to take credit for this. I think it was actually someone... Who was it that I was listening to? Someone told me this, that... You can open Banshee against Terran, but instead of Cloak, just go for Speed first. I might have done this build before on the video, actually. It's a pretty awesome build. Okay, my teammate needs to back off here. I hope he does. He did back off. I'm gonna try pick off that one Hellion over there. That is nice. Yeah, I mean, it's just, we're just trading a couple units here and there. We got a bunch of Reapers and Hellions and stuff. It's kind of hard to say if this favors anyone, really. I guess for my strategy specifically, it is not ideal how this has gone so far. Oh, this is going to be quite nice. It's going to be... Oh, I think we can kill all of that, actually. Cyclones? Oh, no, I wish he would come with me with that Reaper. Cyclone's very fragile. If he came with the Reaper, this would have been a little easier. He didn't, but that's okay. Now we got the Banshee here, and he already locked on. Gonna get 3 shots with that Banshee, which is absolutely delicious. And yeah, I mean, just like I said, we're really just trading stuff back and forth. It's kind of hard to say if, you know, this really is super meaningful. I guess the best thing we can do is just keep microing and try to be efficient, really. It's not like I want to blame my teammate for any of the micro moves or anything, by the way. Like, it's just incredibly hard to sync up with an ally when you're not in voice chat. Like, you know, he doesn't know when I want to go in. He doesn't know my exact mindset in playing the game, etc. So, yeah, I guess we're just going to be vibing out here for a bit. And then the Sky Terran is going to come online. Looks like double... Can I... Yeah. Let me type not in caps lock. I don't want to be vicious to my teammate who's apparently in a good mood. But it is double mech, which means that... Oh, perfect. Yes, tanks. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I want to make tanks myself just to be safe. But since my teammate is tanks, I'm going to feel pretty safe anyway. The thing is, TVT mech in 1v1 is a little strange because nothing on the ground beats siege tanks, like not even close. So even if your opponent has like 1 million Hellion Cyclone like these guys do, they're still not going to be able to break the tanks. So since we just have one guy building tanks here, I don't even need to make them myself. This guy has double turret. Probably going to lose both of these, actually. At least we made him use a scan that he didn't need. That's nice. But yeah, that's a little painful. Probably should have been a little smarter about that. Like, I knew his Cyclones were still at home. It is a little confusing that their units are still at home. Like, if you're playing active mech units, which is what they're playing, you would expect them to move out, but they're still chilling at home. There's a couple options I have here. I could go Mass Banshee. I also like the idea of going for Liberator range. You guys might have thought that Fusion Core was for battlecruisers. Battlecruisers probably not going to be that good early on against Mass Cyclone. Later on, they'll be just fine, especially if I get a couple of my own tanks and stuff. But early on, they're not going to be that good. So I'm going to go for Liberator range and then see how that's going to go. Liberators against Cyclones are either very hit or miss. It kind of depends on how hard you get outplayed, really. Like, if they outmove you and they get behind your Liberator zones, then you can lose every single Liberator. If you get the perfect sieges, then all of a sudden their Cyclones aren't going to do a whole lot, right? So it really depends on how well we are both playing. Kind of surprised to see that double turret over there. I mean, he knew I had Banshees. I do not want to lose these Liberators, especially because I'm going to get range online. I was kind of tempted to just siege them on there anyway, but I don't think it's a good idea. Teammate is playing a fantastic game strategically. He has a bunch of tanks. He has a bunch of spotter marines around the map, which is exactly what you want. I think it's a good time for me to go for a 3rd starport already, especially because I'm going to go Liberator heavy. That push by him could be absolutely brutal, by the way. I think I'm going to click my Liberators on his army. Good interference matrix over there. Looks like he went for a bit of an F2 there. It's kind of funny because that's exactly what I do. When like a TVT fight happens, often you want every single unit there, so I just F2. So even if you have spotted Marines, I kind of walk them over, and it's funny to see that he just did the exact same thing. I managed to delay that command center. That's brutal. Okay, he's going to go for a scan. He's not actually going to kill one of these Banshees, I believe. No, he's not. That shot was very far outside of the scan range, wasn't it? You guys saw that last shot? That didn't even look like it was almost in the scan range. I guess that's kind of what happens with the Cyclones. Okay, so he seems to be back. I'm actually going to go for a scan. Okay, so there's a couple starports over there. Yeah, it could be battlecruisers. It could also just be Vikings for the air control. I am not quite sure, really. I think it's a good time for me to go for the double armory now and get these upgrades. Let's see if I can harass the guy at the top as well. At some point, I might turn on the other color mode if I need to distinguish between the two armies, that is. So, okay, these guys are... I thought I was going to be the campy one, but these guys are one-upping me a little bit here, you could say. Holy cow. These guys are feeling their defensive setup, that is for sure. Maybe they're reinventing the 5cc setup and they're going for the 8cc setup instead. Now, I don't think this guy's army can really be contested. If he just sieges in range, like siege. Oh, that... Okay, those Hellions could have been absolutely brutally painful. Good siege over there. If my teammate gets his tanks close enough to the opponent's tanks, I can siege my Liberators on them. And like, he doesn't actually have to back off here. I understand that he is. He doesn't have to. Because, like I mentioned before, tanks are just so freaking good against anything on the ground. I'm still making mass Liberators for now. It's actually interesting to see that I can't even mine enough gas for 3 starports from freaking, what is it, 6 gases, right? Like, it's crazy the amount of gas you need for mech. That's why if you play mech, you usually end up just making a billion command centers and turrets everywhere. Kind of like what my opponents are doing, right? Because you have so many minerals, you want to spend them on the right thing. I'm just gonna siege my army in the right places, try to transfer all of these SCVs over, and all of a sudden we have a very, very good economy here, and that is very nice. One unit that's gonna be terrifying to go up. What are all these? Look at the mini-map. Holy cow, I didn't even notice that. Look at all these sensor towers. Those are not bases. There's no way they have all these bases. That is crazy. How many cyclones is this? Okay, this would be the riskiest thing I've done in a while. Is he paying attention? Please don't try this at home. Oh, yeah. I saw the cyclones move forward, and I was like, oh, like my instinct just went like, oh no, what have I done? I think they're all... Actually, maybe I lost one Banshee, right? I think I did. Yeah. I'm still a little worried about those starports, by the way. I kind of want to check to see if those are going to be Yamatos. That's a good time for me to move forward, I think. I'm just going to get a couple sieges in here. I really only need a couple tanks. Oh, those Liberator zones are going to be nice. Look at that. He cannot... Yeah, exactly. If he even tries that, he's going to get absolutely obliterated. I'm close enough with my tanks that that's going to be an unfortunate fight for him. And there we go. Pretty good lock-ons there onto the Liberators. I think it's barely not going to work out for him anyway. Here we go. The Banshees are really good in this case because the lock-ons have already been exhausted. And this has been an incredibly efficient fight. That tank is also going to die. This is kind of what happens when you play... Okay, my teammate is going to be fine there. I was trying to judge that fight really fast so I could make the snap call decision to go there or not. My teammate's actually going to be completely fine, at least for now. I need to keep monitoring this, mostly because that guy does not have anything to kill the tanks right now. If he gets those units eventually, then I need to help him out, because he needs me to clean up the Vikings of the enemy, pretty much. That's what it comes down to. Okay, I'm going to see she's a little closer. Look how good the Liberators are, man. Liberators against ground mech by Terran are just brutal. I can even start sieging this without even needing the tanks because there's just so many freaking Liberators. Oh, I do need to get servos. Let's make sure to get servos here. Did I just blow up all of his cyclones? Or not? But that is a move for sure. I mean, I'm going to be able to kill every single Viking now. Look at this. I have enough Banshees as well. The Sky Terran is absolutely popping over. I still have Liberators alive. When you play Liberators against ground mech, you only need a couple Liberators, technically. As long as you have more air control than your opponents, right? Because then you can just keep going. Got a couple more Liberators coming in too. I killed his Vikings. That one, I think Caps Lock kind of fits there, actually. It looks like I'm very excited about it, which is nice. Liberator's also very good against Thors, of course. There's a lot of... Okay, I think it's a good moment to go back here now. There's a lot of tanks over there. I'm going to siege this tank over here so I don't get backstabbed. Those Thors are going to die to the tanks, most likely, because... tanks are really good against Thors, just like I mentioned. Very good against every ground unit. Those are going to die. Look at this. Oh, this is going to be absolutely brutal. Gonna lose every single tank here. That is awesome. There we go. Oh, another Thor came out and he did manage to clean that up. Helping my ally over here. We're going to be able to kill all of those tanks as well. And I think we are going to be in a fantastically nice spot. I can start taking the bases now that my enemies have freaking built. He's impressed by the Sky Terror. That's what I like to see. Let me give him a cheeky smile there. I love that. Oh yeah, let me try to take those bases on the bottom side. My opponent... I should probably stop making Vikings at this point, right? Because actually... Vikings are good against Thors too. I know that sounds dumb, but it's actually true. Vikings do a lot of damage against ground mech units, so you can just kind of land on the Thors. I think even 2 Vikings might be enough to kill that Thor. I'm not going to risk it anyway. I'm just going to land all of them. There we go. And it instantly disappears. I'm going to send my dudes over here, build a couple turrets. I don't have that many scans, so I could really use some... Some extra orbitals as well. That one wasn't hotkeyed. Build a couple of extra orbitals over there. And I think we are absolutely chilling right now. My teammate is once again doing completely fine. Dude, my army is freaking enormous, by the way. That's insane. That is not just an army, that's just... yeah, okay, so one Terran already leaves. I guess it's the Terran that lost his entire army over there. The other one leaves as well. And that was beautiful. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. Sky Terran can be one of the most powerful compositions in the game. And against Terran is one of the matchups where it can really look like that. If your opponents are playing Bio, it's a little harder, because once you get to the Sky Terran point, where you have like planetaries everywhere, you have some tanks, some turrets, some BCs, you're safe. But early on, you're really vulnerable to like mass marine attacks and stuff. But when they play mech, this is a very legit way to play. Now, my teammate did it perfectly. He went tanks early on, which I really like to see. He did a couple of good pushes. We worked well together, and this was an extremely satisfying game number 1. Let's play another one. All right, game number 2 is together with Grim Reaper, a random player, against a Zerg in a random. Very cool portrait over here. That's one of the portraits I'll probably never achieve because it's very freaking hard. But maybe with random 2v2, who knows? I believe that's the... how do you call that? 1,000 wins with every single race, including random portrait, if I am correct. Now, since I do play every race in 2v2, there's a chance that we can actually reach that at some point, but it's still very far. You guys might be surprised to know, but I don't even have the 1,000 wins portrait of any race in team games. I think with Protoss I'm at like 900, and with Terran I'm at like 500 or something like that, but I actually am not particularly close to getting one of them. All right, here we go. My teammate took a very long time to load in there. Some wooden computer action, as we like to say. Let's see, it was Zerg random, right? Yeah, Zerg random. My teammate got Protoss. Okay, I mean... I guess my teammate's race doesn't necessarily matter that much for the Sky Terran challenge. It might be the hardest if my teammate gets Zerg, just because I can't put planetaries on his creep, you know? It's just a little bit of a standard disadvantage you have when playing with Zerg. Now, obviously, if you're playing active bio, it doesn't matter. But if you're, you know, relying on buildings to defend yourself, then it can be a little hard to play with a race with creep. Now, he... might be... No, okay. I thought he was going to go for a Nexus first, but he just sent his probe a little late. Hello there. I still have to fix my setup a little bit. I haven't found a nice place for the wire of my in-ear, so it's kind of in the way, but it's not going to bother me too much. I'm in a good mood today, actually. I feel like I cannot be broken by any inconveniences in this this little video over here, so it's all good. Now, this game, I could go for a BC. Against Zerg, BCs are going to be quite good. I guess if the other guy is Protoss, I want to be extra careful. Oh, he's Terran. Wait, that is... Yeah, Zerg Terran, of course. Okay. I guess in that case, I need to figure out if he is playing mech or not. Because if it's mech, I can't really teleport battlecruisers across the map as freely, because he's going to have Cyclones. You can take the in-base, my friend. Here you go, guys. Team coaching 101. Be nice to your allies. Give them something that seems like a big deal, but is not that big of a deal in the end. Make them love you. But no need. He's already... There's a smiley face there, guys. He's already in good mood. Told you. No need. Wait, he said no need. Huh. Does he want to all in on 2 bases then? That's a little suspicious, isn't it? I guess we'll have to see. I didn't tell him what my strategy was. That guy let me into their base, which is very nice. 3 racks by this Mr. Guy. Before gas, even. Okay. That's quite fascinating. Actually, that means I can own him with 1 Reaper. Where's the command center? Defend? Yes, sir. Oh, there's the base. Well, why did he build it all the way over there? Here we go. Yeah, here's the thing. If you play gases against a Terran, you do typically just get tortured by a Reaper. If I was playing double gas, you would get tortured by a Reaper and a Hellion. Ah, yeah, maybe I should have clarified that. Maybe he thought I meant like proxy 3 racks or something like this. I guess Hellions would do the trick against that perfectly fine. Let's see. I'm gonna be able to barely... Oh, that is painful, but do you guys realize that? He could have just kept it on there and the command center would have finished, but he pulled the SCV away, giving me the kill. Gonna get another Marine here. Guys, please, just... If you play against Terran, just make a gas, okay? Like, this is just painful, you know? As a Terran player, I feel his pain. This is the kind of game you have against Protoss sometimes, when like an Adept and a Stalker comes in and you just lose like 5,000 units to it. You're not supposed to have that kind of game against Terran, but if you play without gas, it can happen. There is a factory. Yeah, this is just gonna be like a nice 2-base bio play from him. This Reaper is gonna survive. Is there another queen here? There is not. Double evolution chamber. I'm gonna ping that for my homie. Yeah, I guess mech is actually the best idea anyway here. Ideally, I get like a couple tanks out before going Sky Terran. Maybe not. You know what? Hellions could really just do the trick by themselves. Like, we're gonna play against very clearly Zergling Marine. I can maybe just make Hellions only. Actually, should we go for a double starport? Fast double starport? I mean, okay, that's dumb to say because you guys know I'm going to play Sky Terran. I meant double starport Banshee in particular, not just the regular double starport. Yeah, this is going to be incredibly painful because Hellions are very good against this kind of stuff. A little bit of kiting is all you need, and all those units are going to die. Yeah, I mean, it's... I feel bad. They're just not doing a good strategy against a guy building Reapers and Hellions. If I build Hellions even faster, like with a double gas, this guy would have died even more viciously. And now we have Stalkers and Hellions here, and they're only going to be able to make Marines and Zerglings. Terran production is not that great. I just know from experience that if you're playing a 3-racks, you don't want to bleed out units at all before you hit your timing. As you can see, this guy was going to go for like a double medevac drop or something like this. If you lose Marines, you just don't have anything. This guy has 0 units, and all he could make was oh no. He mishotkeyd his barracks. This guy wasn't... Yeah, this was tragic. Oh, actually, it just finished. Maybe not. No, okay. It looked like he just wasn't producing from this forever because the others were queued and this one had no Marines, but it just finished. Okay, well, this was an incredibly painful game. As you guys could see, I was planning to play Sky Terran, but I couldn't even get there. But I promise I tried. Let's play game number 3. Game number 3 is with a random player against a Protoss and a Terran called Fart Goblin. Interesting name. I think this is the first time we're not playing against random, right? My teammate was still random, but we're not playing against a random this time. It's actually pretty cool to see a lot of... he wants the wall on the low ground, okay. Yes, sir. It's pretty cool to see people play random a lot in team games. It's a bit underappreciated in 1v1, I would say. There's always a discussion around random, like some people think that the best random player would be the best player because it has advantages, right? In the end, it doesn't really seem to be the case, but it's still a pretty cool strategy. There hasn't really ever been like a super high-level random player that, you know, knows how to play the races very well, but just abuses the strengths of random. Like certain cheeses that you can do because your opponent doesn't know your race, right? Like a lot of mind games you can do and stuff. All those things would be very fun to watch. Anyway, we're playing with 2 Terrans, and we're playing against Terran Protoss. I do think not playing against Zerg is always going to make it a bit harder to play Sky Terran, because Zerg has the lowest aggressive potential, I would say. Or maybe it's not even about potential, maybe it's just about how players play for the most part. Like when you play against Zerg, you can usually calculate on them not being aggressive in a certain way. Like they don't have a 4-gate blink build where they hit like a medium level timing that's very hard to defend. It's more like they either play macro or they cheese very hard kind of thing. So at that point, it doesn't really depend what build you're doing anymore. It's just you kind of need to switch it up entirely. If you see a Zerg cheese, you just start making Marines in 5 bunkers, you know. It's not like you need a specific build for that. I'm not quite sure if that is... it looks like it's walled off, actually. It's kind of hard to wall off next to rocks, but I guess my teammate has done it right. He went for a tech lab. Wait, why is there a bunker there? That's the fastest bunker ever. And it seems like he's just playing Reaper Expand too. I guess they just decided to go for a non-scout and be extremely defensive. I'm gonna be able to kill this Reaper, I think. It's gonna be quite close. I think we can kill it. Oh, barely not. He's gonna get to the bunker. That's alright though. I'm just gonna sneak past and I'm gonna be able to deny this command center for a bit. That was... Why? Why did he take that out of the bunker, man? That is just so freaking painful to watch. I'm gonna give him another cheeky. I tried to make it a capital D there, but I guess it didn't work out. Is that another Marine? Is that a second Marine or the first one? I think it's the second one, but I'm not sure. It's another Marine that's gonna die. Should be able to escape with this one as well. Make a second orbital over here. And yeah, I mean, it's a flying early game over here, that is for sure. There was an Adept over there, which I'm actually quite happy with, because that means that the Adept is not about to shade into my natural, which it definitely could have. We have 3 Marines here, which do barely beat an Adept, but Marines are slow, and I don't really like spending effort having to catch up to that. I'm gonna play Sky Terran. Let's see. This guy seems like someone who has opinions on strategy, so I'm curious if at some point throughout this game he's gonna drop like a "Hey bro, your strategy sucks" kind of comment, you know? Maybe not that direct, maybe not that rude, but just something along those lines. There's a car over here. If he's not paying attention, I can kill the car. Let's see, yeah, we should be able to kill it. It's kind of hard to micro Hellion against Hellion because they shoot slow and they move very fast. But seems like we did get the job done in the end. Yeah, I was tempted to make a Viking is what I wanted to say, but instead I'm gonna make 2 Widow Mines. I'm a little afraid of air units, in particular an Oracle. Oracle would already be entering my base, but if it was, then I can counterattack with these. There's a second gateway over here. I'm gonna do a decent amount of damage. Probably like 6 probes or so, I want to guess. Let's see, one more. Oh, I thought I clicked on it, but I guess I didn't. It's a bunch of Marines and Adepts. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of information there, sadly. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna put 1 Widow Mine over the gas, because it could also be a medevac drop, right? Let's see, I'm gonna get Banshee speed first. I'm gonna do a scan over here. Make an eBay, because that could be Cloak. Could also be Interference Matrix, but I would say in 2v2 it is way more likely to be Cloak. Get 2 Widow Mines over here. Maybe I should switch up the Widow Mine position a little bit. Yeah, like Banshees don't get one-shot by Widow Mines, so if you play against Banshees, ideally you have 2 Widow Mines together, but I also just want to make sure I cover enough ground, so I think I'm just going to keep it like that. Maybe I can move this over to that right gas, in case they sneak in from the right at some point. And my Banshee should be very strong here, because my opponent went for most likely a Banshee as well, meaning he's not going to have air units to deal with this, and this is a very successful Banshee. I'm going to go for the double starport follow-up. So, well, we're gonna have triple starport. He might have cancelled that, you know? It's 4 barracks, guys. He's 4 barracks and a starport that was building most likely Banshee Cloak that was cancelled. Now, this is a very interesting way to play this. So far, I've been making tanks or Hellions. There's 1 Banshee there. Probably with cancelled Cloak, I have to guess. It could have Cloak. I don't think it does. Now, my teammate made a Liberator, so we're gonna have to very painfully watch a Liberator try to tickle that Banshee to death. Luckily, he had some Stim Marines as well, else that would really be a painful endeavor for him. But yeah, we've been playing... Oh, I didn't even realize I had this other one. We've been playing Hellions and tanks, but Widow Mines... potentially a very good combination as well with the Sky Terran. I did make 1 mistake here. I wonder if you guys realized it. It's... that I probably, considering the situation, should have made a planetary at the 3rd base, which I'm not going to have, sadly. I'm going to get my Cloak. That is definitely a fake Phoenix, I want to guess. Is it doing any damage to my stuff? I don't think it did. Now, there was a Viking over there. Actually, I could kill the Viking. Ooh, okay, should we go for some fun plays? I'm going to burrow Widow Mines over here. He could have the 3rd base already, but if he doesn't, we're going to be able to burrow Widow Mines over there. And then try to bait the Viking into it. I've killed a lot of Vikings like that before, actually. Back in the day when I was playing a lot of Psycho 1v1s. I definitely got some Viking kills like that. Do Vikings still get one-shot by Widow Mines after the Viking HP buff that I got a long time ago? There's a turret over here. Let's see if I can bait the Viking. Oh, wait, no, okay. The Viking actually got shot at by that Widow Mine, but it didn't die. So Vikings do survive a Widow Mine shot now. Which is nice, I guess, in general for Viking builders. It's not so nice for me right now. I'm going to try to spread some more Widow Mines around the place. They're going for a lot of bases. I want to guess that the Protoss is not going Phoenix. Yeah, he's actually not going Phoenix. Okay, that's good. The reason why I scan is because Phoenix are the biggest counter to Banshees in the game. Like, it's kind of It's kind of disgusting, really, to have Banshees against Phoenixes. Gonna get another shot off. Good micro by my opponent there. And this game, I'm really just playing mass Banshee for the most part.
Not enough.
I think it's a good game to go for a fusion core here. Like, we have a pretty good setup going. My teammate wants to attack, which is fine with me. I could make an offensive sensor tower as well. Let's see what he has. Zealot. Okay.
Not enough minerals.
The Protoss army is small, but Zealots counter our army pretty severely. So I think what's better for me to do is just go for a bunch of counterattacks. There's no observer over here. He's probably spamming his teammate to scan right now. He might not have a scan, or they might not be in good terms, or he might be a bad teammate. I don't know. Observer shows up though, a lot of Stalkers die, and that is going to make sure that my teammate is going to kill that base. Also, the Terran player is distracted by these Banshees. Banshees are extremely, extremely hard to catch, by the way, if they have speed. Like, it's just... It's almost not even really doable. Like, he's dropping, you know, he's scanning, but, you know, you just need turrets ready. Otherwise, you're just not going to catch these things. He's going to do another scan, even though he has turrets ready. Oh, that's a well-placed turret over there. He is asking for my Widow Mines. This is exactly what I was afraid of, by the way. I told you guys, Zealots counter his entire army, so that is a bit of a problem. Now, luckily for me, I have 5 gajillion Banshees at home. That is nice. Those Widow Mines are still chilling. I'm going to be able to kill his army. I'm going to retreat with these momentarily. I think we're going to... Yeah, exactly. We're going to clean it up pretty fast, so that's okay. My planetary is going to finish over there. Those Widow Mines are doing a good job. And now I really have to hope that my teammate builds... My teammate does not have anything right now. Oh, that is a problem. Okay, I thought he was kind of chilling, but he has a tank and a marine. Where is the stuff? He just hasn't been building anything. Okay, that is a little painful, I can't lie. I have 140 supply. This guy has 5 million Zealots, and my teammate has a Thor and a tank and 3 Marines. And... Oh no, those were part of the units that he had earlier. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a very tough game here. As soon as they see my Banshees, I'm sure they're going to try and attack. If they would go back here, that would be very surprising. And also very nice. I see a red blob moving around. That is the Protoss army that's about to attack, I want to guess. Now, these Banshees are doing absolute God's work right now. Like, this is beautiful. Looks like they're going to try to siege his planetary, which is the right play. He's warping in Stalkers to defend this at home, which I'm very happy with. Because my Banshees are very likely to just beat those Stalkers. And I can always fly away as well, which is really nice. Now, since they're distracted, maybe I can get in here and get some free kills. It'd be really nice to kill the tanks. Looks like he has an observer there, though. Here, we're going to be able to kill one tank over here. These Banshees are still absolutely popping off. I have double planetary here, by the way. Let me try and target the Marines. The Marines are going to die so fast to that. And I mean, my units are doing absolutely amazingly right now. If my teammate gets like a couple more tanks on the field, that would be awesome. Going to be able to kill those Stalkers as well. It looks like the Protoss player has given up. I think that is a little bit too early, honestly. I know he has been tortured, but they still have a big army. I feel like they've just been going about this a little bit too slowly. Now the double planetary is finished. Double planetaries are not likely to die to a bunch of Marines. It looks like it's actually getting quite close. A little bit of a move command here by my opponent. The planetaries are holding strong. Looks like one of them is going to die. But by now, most of the Protoss and Terran army has already evaporated. We got a couple of battlecruisers on the field. And it looks like the Sky Terran has done it in the end. And yet another game where it looks incredibly strong, guys. Let's be honest. This game, my teammate did not macro super well. He did one push. I think did he not manage to kill that base? He must have, right? Yeah, okay. He did manage to kill that base. But after this Protoss has 145 supply. Terran is on 100. And my guy has 70 with a massive supply block and a massive bank. So my teammate definitely not macroing very well here. He went for double eBay and double armory and a fusion core. I honestly have no idea where he was going with this. Some kind of battlecruiser transition while also making 2-2 for his 1 barracks Marines. 2 barracks Marines. No, that's mine, actually. 1 barracks Marines with a tech lab. That is not a build I'm going to copy. But anyway, Sky Terran definitely held the fort down. The planetaries with the Banshee counterattack probably killed like 1 million workers or so. Probably like 60 if we're trying to be more realistic here. But that was a beautiful game. And a beautiful set of games in general. Sky Terran gets the job done. My teammates were happy. I'm happy. My opponents are unhappy. And that is exactly what we want. That's just actually, I don't want that. I want everyone to be happy. But it is what it is. It's a video game. That's going to be it for today. Hope you guys had a fantastic time. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all for the next one. Adios.